We have the Super Bowl set, and once again, the Kansas City Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. Dylan, how are you? Will Reichling here, Hold My Helmet Football Podcast. Welcome back. What's going on?
What's going, man?
Are you okay?
Another.
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
No.
I know you get some PTSD from the Chiefs here and there. You get so traumatized about them, so I just want to know: are you okay? Dylan?
I'm just fine. It just shocks me how it ends up here again. They seem to amaze me. Every playoff run. You never think they're not made out for the playoffs. They can't make it to the big game. They're not playing up to par, and it comes crunch time and they make it happen.
They're like Dylan. They're like chameleons. The Kansas City Chiefs are like chameleons. They adapt to their environment. A couple of years ago, maybe when they had Tyreek Hill, 5 years ago, they would throw it over the top, 35, 40 points a game, outscore people. Then you saw a little bit of a shift, start to run the ball more, situationally be excellent on third down. Now they're in this kind of stage where, trade Tyreek Hill. Injuries to Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown after most of the year. Yeah. And run the ball with Kareem Hunt, Pacheco, who broke his leg, too, on top of that. And all of a sudden, Mahomes had, 10 carries in this game, 2 rushing touchdowns. They just do whatever they have to do to get back to the Super Bowl. And they've done it again. They might three-peat.
They might.
We'll get into if you think they will later, but
we're right there, and you really hit it on the head there. They play to their opponent, and they do it every game. Whether it's it's the worst team in the league, they're not going to show their cards. They're kind of gonna just get it done. They do it every single game, and then the big games, they really show out. I don't know. It amazes me. I've never seen anything like it.
I can't even explain it anymore. This might be the best dynasty ever. If they three-peat, if they win...
that's history right there, yeah.
No one's ever done it. I think...
Before the Super Bowl era. Yeah, it has
the Browns, I think the Packers, they've won 3 NFL championships in a row. The Giants won a lot of NFL championships. But to win 3 Super Bowls in a row in a salary cap league where, you see teams like the Houston Texans go from the number 2 overall pick to winning a playoff game. The Washington Commanders going from the number 2 overall pick to one game away from the Super Bowl.
NFC Championship. Yeah.
To see this team consistently go back to the Super Bowl every single year, Patrick Mahomes has never not been in an AFC Championship game since he's been a starter. That's insane.
That is.
Bare minimum, you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. Bare minimum, AFC Championship game. So, Mahomes, he really just does it all, man. I know he's not as flashy as he was when he was younger, but it is almost beautiful to watch. 2 rushing touchdowns. He's situationally on third down, he's excellent. He's just excellent. He just always, right when you think you have him, you don't have him. He just makes that extra play where you're like, how do I stop this guy? How do I stop him?
In crunch time, it's the most important part. You could play complete shit the whole game, and then in crunch time, there's never a time where Patrick Mahomes doesn't step up to the plate and they don't get it done.
So I don't know where you rank this Chiefs team, this quarterback, all time. Let's think hypotheticals. They win this game. They three-peat. Is this the best team ever? You got the Patriots.
I think their first Super Bowl run in the beginning of the three-peats with Tyreek Hill there.
Well, not the best team ever, the best dynasty ever.
Okay, that's
what I mean.
Whole different question,
right?
Yeah.
So is this the best dynasty ever?
How could you not say that at this point?
The only reason I would argue is that the Patriots had multiple decades of just dominating. Yes, they had a little drought in between where they didn't win Super Bowls, hence the Giants beating them. But they had this ultimate consistency for 20 years. We don't know if the Chiefs are going to do that, but they're top 2, top 3. You have to put them in that top 2-3 range with the Niners, the Cowboys, maybe the Patriots.
Yeah, and it's to a point where everything's so perfect. You have one of the best coach in the NFL, the best quarterback in the NFL,
possibly top 2 or 3 tight ends of all time.
You have good ownership, and you just put pieces around them, and it just works. Nothing could really stop that. You hit all the marks on every aspect. Defense, the best defense in the league. It's just. And they're doing everything right. They have everything that you need to win a Super Bowl.
And I know he's not playing like it this year, but you have a top 2-3 tight end of all time. He's not that anymore, but add that to the dynasty the last couple of years. Yes, you have a top 2 or 3 dynasty of all time. I don't know if it's one yet. Let's see what I want to see what happens in this game on Sunday. Well, 2 weeks from now because you got the Pro Bowl in between. I want to see what happens next Sunday, and I also want to see what happens in the next few years, Dylan. Like Andy Reid, he's getting a little up there in age. Will he stay? Will he not? Last year I thought they won the Super Bowl, he would retire. He didn't. I think he's in for the long haul now. I think he's going to be there for another 5 years.
There's no reason why you wouldn't.
His age, maybe health. He's like in his 70s. And he's not the healthiest looking guy.
If I died doing this, I would be happy.
Exactly.
That's the way I would want to die.
That's how I am too. I don't know if you're like this, but I'm the kind of guy that like I take a day off from work, I feel like a piece of shit bum. Like I just need to be moving. I don't know if you're like that too, but like I feel like to the day I die, I'm gonna want to be working.
I don't think there's gonna be any question of him stepping down. You're at the peak of your career and franchise, and you have all this momentum. Why not just keep riding? Obviously, eventually it's going to fizzle out. Before we know it, Patrick Mahomes is going to retire, maybe move on to a new team like Tom Brady did. But at that point, you would think about it. But you got so much riding right now. You have so much more to live for. And
it kind of brings up another question because Andy Reid, all time, you have Patrick Mahomes where he's rattled off all these Super Bowls. What about before that? On the Eagles. Donovan McNabb made a Super Bowl. He made multiple NFC Championship games. Like
he wins everywhere he goes.
He's been proven to be not only a quarterback whisperer, 2, not only an offensive-minded genius, but 3, another thing about Andy Reid. Look at all of his coaches around the league. Like his tree just branches off and off. He's got so many coaches around the league that indirectly or directly are from the Andy Reid tree. And Belichick, who people think, yes, he's the best head coach of all time right now. Like, what he did with Brady was amazing. Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, even in some weird sense, Gerard Mayo. Like, people from his tree, coaching or players, other than Vrabel, haven't worked out. They just have not worked out, Dylan. So, that kind of gives another level to Andy Reid's legacy. Like, the amount of influence he's had in the league as far as coaching, offensive scheme. So, where does Andy Reid, like, rank all time? Andy Reid, where does he rank all time?
It's got to be like top 3.
Is he 1? Is he Andy Reid or Bill Belichick all time?
I think Bill Belichick for now, but again, he still has a lot to live for.
I agree, and in a league that's offensive minded, Andy Reid just seems like the perfect offensive minded head coach in the perfect offensive minded time. So, and another thing that's hurting Bill Belichick, you had Tom Brady, you won with Tom Brady,
and then as soon as he left,
and Cleveland Browns. They made the playoffs one year, but like he's shown, even before Brady got there, he's shown that he is a sub 500 head coach without Tom Brady. I mean, he's shown that in his career, Bill Belichick. Andy Reid has shown without Patrick Mahomes, playoffs, NFC Championship, AFC Championship, playoffs. I mean, no, he didn't make the AFC Championship with Alex Smith on the Chiefs. But with the Eagles, he was rattling them off. I'm pretty sure he made the playoffs with Alex Smith on the Chiefs for like 3, 4, 5 years in a row before Mahomes even got there. So, Andy Reid's right there. Mahomes is right there. It's honestly a match made in heaven. This is Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Don Shula, Dan Marino, Sean Payton, Drew Brees. This is like the perfect offensive head coach quarterbacks combination I think I've ever seen, Dylan.
And yeah, again, they have all the pieces they need, and it's insane because a couple years back, after the first Super Bowl, it's like gonna fall off.
Trade Tyreek Hill.
What are they doing? You're getting rid of one of the best players in the NFL, and then lo and behold, Tyreek Hill's over here, playing like complete ass, and now he's kind of kicking himself. I mean, if I was Tyreek Hill, I would take a pay cut.
I would be honest though with Tyreek Hill, since he's went to the Miami Dolphins. His numbers have been great. I mean, other than this last year, the last season before this, he was outstanding. Honestly, like since he fell off a little bit this season, he got hurt.
Got arrested.
On week one. He actually went off that game too. That was probably his best game.
It was a revenge game.
That was his best game of the season, I think, too. Ironically, but no, you're right. Honestly, like Tyreek Hill, didn't he say when he. After his first season with Miami, he signed like a 5-year deal in Miami. Did he say when his 5-year deal was over he'd retire? I remember him talking about that. Now apparently that's like it never happened. I don't know. I remember him like on a podcast being like, "Oh, nah, I'm done after this contract's up." Like I thought he was gonna retire. Honestly,
I mean, you didn't live for anything. I mean, you didn't.
He won a Super Bowl with Kansas City.
Yeah, I know, but if you went out on a bang, maybe. But
He was great on Miami till this last season. Like he was like insane.
Then all of Miami fell apart.
NFL top 100, and he was number 1 last season. Well, coming into this season, I didn't agree with that. He had Mahomes at 4. Was he 1? Yeah, he was 1. Lamar was 2. I remember that. But yeah, no, I mean, getting a little sidetracked. But this all kind of plays into the Chiefs and their legacy and what's honestly really happened the last couple of years. What's unfolded. Look, Josh Allen right out the bat. He came out like looking shaky. The first drive, very first drive, Dylan.
Two plays in a row.
Almost
Terrible
interceptions.
passes, yeah.
Dropped. So,
but I feel like after that play, it was he turned around completely.
He settled down very quickly after that. You're absolutely right.
Nerves were racking, I don't blame him.
And look, this was back and forth, and this really was a great game. I'm honestly at the point where it's like, I just feel really bad for the Buffalo Bills because I feel really bad for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
I feel bad for both of them. Honestly, I do because
it's just like who can stop this team? And I feel like this was the Bills' year, Josh Allen's year. He was playing the best football than any other player in the NFL. Like I thought he should have won MVP. I say thought, but
you said Lamar, and I thought we both agreed on Lamar.
No, he did, but again, like. They're just two different players. I mean,
I feel bad for both of them because you're in the midst of like some insane, like magical, defying logic type dynasty right now. I can't even explain it anymore. It's like the Bills. It's not like the Bills have the better roster than the Chiefs, but there's been like last year, AFC Championship game, Ravens. Chiefs. Ravens had by far the better roster. The Chiefs working. It's just like it continues to happen over and over and over and over and over again. So it's just like
it's great coaching mind too.
And just like Mahomes just makes the plays at the right time,
rallying the troops.
Look, I know. Look, Josh Allen played well. He really did. He made plays when he had to. Even that fourth down that Kincaid dropped, he threw the ball right where it needed to be on fourth down. Went game on the line, needed to make a play. He was making plays. Play calling was a little questionable, yeah. I don't really necessarily disagree with like all the tush pushes too much because like I think the narrative of this game was there were so many tush pushes on third down, fourth down that weren't converted by the Bills. But like you have a 6'6", 6'7" quarterback, like I would want it in his hands too. He's probably got strong legs. He's brolic. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that portion, like all the tush pushes and all that. But I think that was fine. My problem was James Cook. He was averaging 6.5 yards per carry that game. Waddy only had 13 carries and 3 catches. Like he was going off
every time he touched the ball.
Explosive play. There was
first
one play.
Downs, breakaways.
Remember that one play? We rewatched the game a little while ago. Remember that one play?
The touchdown where he crossed over.
Not even that one. Well, that was a great play too. Fourth down, critical moment. Reaches over, extends to the as far as he could possibly extend.
Hit, yeah.
Touchdown on fourth down. That was clutch. Not even talking about that. The one where he just like juked, boom, ran right up the sideline. Yeah. He just has
elusive. Yeah,
he might be like other than maybe Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, like the shiftiest running back in the league. Like
Swift.
He's like yeah, Swift too. Swift's very shifty. Yes. Derrick Henry's more straight line, but like yeah, Barkley, Bijan, Swift. Are we missing anyone that's up there?
Gibbs.
Gibbs is very shifty. This guy's like his cuts. And like his cuts and then acceleration is elite.
They should have definitely utilized him more. And
they should have.
I couldn't agree more about that. And I feel like if you swap the coaches in this game, Bills would have won no problem. I think Sean McDermott is a good coach, but I think Andy Reid is just a genius.
That's actually a very good take. It's like you swap coaches here, same quarterbacks. Who wins this game? You give Josh Allen Andy Reid for his career. You give Patrick Mahomes, Sean McDermott. Who has the better career?
It might be similar at that point.
Honestly, like it all depends on where you get drafted. It does. Like I've been saying this. Patrick Mahomes goes to the Jets. Gets drafted by the Jets. Will he be Patrick Mahomes? Probably not, because the Jets don't know how to develop quarterbacks. So that was a good point, though, because like you switch coaches here. Let's play another game. Switch the quarterbacks. What happens then? I don't know.
It evens out pretty well.
I guess it would be same situation. Like
I think the Bills are still dominating because I think that like both of these quarterbacks, there's not that much of a gap in between them at all.
There's not, but like Mahomes,
he has other Josh Allen has other attributes that kind of outweigh Mahomes, but Mahomes is more of a game time player, clutch player. But I think Josh Allen is, he's amazing out of the pocket. I mean, their categories are a little different.
They are a little different. Josh Allen's more of like, it's kind of weird because Mahomes also, it's honestly funny. Josh Allen and Mahomes, they both have rocket arms, like complete like howitzers of arms. Josh Allen's bigger. He's probably faster. But Mahomes,
better outside the pocket, too.
But Mahomes is probably better from within the pocket. Honestly, Mahomes is probably smarter with his decision making, and even though Josh was great this year too, but like I don't know, Mahomes is a talent of his own. I mean, Mahomes is probably the best quarterback I've ever seen as far as talent.
The football awareness, in clutch moments, he just makes all the right decisions.
Even early in his career, though, the year he threw 50 touchdowns, like Mahomes showed early in his career that he could put up numbers and he could the wow plays. Like I think now he's past that point, so he doesn't really try to do it. Same with Josh. Josh isn't throwing 40 touchdowns. They're both doing that now in a way because like they both just want to win now. Josh used to throw 35, 40 touchdowns. Now he kind of reined it back in. You saw still throw 15 picks. Now he's throwing 6. So it's like you rein it in. You kind of get more comfortable. I think the Bills. It's not about Josh Allen or even Sean McDermott. It's more about like.
I mean, I don't know if you brought this up, but like, who's their real number one on that team?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Who is their number one?
I mean, Cooks is easily there, but like wide receiver, who's catching the ball?
They bring in Amari Cooper, and what did he have 1-2 snaps against the Ravens? What was that?
They have so many good 2s and 3s, but like, who's the number one?
Honestly, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. They have a lot of very good receivers.
And it
great.
becomes overwhelming at some point.
And it's like. They trade for Amari Cooper. I'm thinking, okay, this is the number one Josh Allen needed. Then they barely use him. He barely played against the Ravens. He had a couple catches against the Chiefs, but honestly, you're right. Who is the number one? And that brings up a great point. Maybe Keon Coleman could be that next season. Maybe he can finally mold into that. It's honestly ironic because you were the last pick in the draft. You trade with the Chiefs. In the draft. The Chiefs take Xavier Worthy. You trade back one pick. Chiefs get Xavier Worthy. You get Keon Coleman. Xavier Worthy in this game, 6 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown. Keon Coleman, 1 catch, 12 yards. This season, Worthy, 59 catches, 638 yards. I'll say that again. Xavier Worthy this season, 59 catches, 638 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. Keon Coleman, 29 catches, 556 yards, 4 touchdowns.
I don't think either of these guys are I don't think Worthy is that good either.
He's not. But I'm saying Worthy also had 104 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So Worthy had 9 total touchdowns, 700 scrimmage yards. Coleman had 565 scrimmage yards, 4 touchdowns. So it seems like right now Worthy is slightly the better player. So you trade back. You could have drafted Xavier Worthy. You trade back. You let the Chiefs take him. You take Keon Coleman.
I don't think that would have been a deciding factor in this game at all. Not even close.
I don't think so either, but I think it means something. I think it means something. Worthy was a big factor in this game. Keon Coleman was non-existent. That means something. It was the direct impact in this game, which was the most important game that Josh Allen's ever played in. So it meant something, okay? It meant something. Maybe it wouldn't have been the same if the other one was drafted on the other team and vice versa, but because different fits, but I don't know. Keon Coleman was it's actually the first pick in the second round, but someone needs to be a number one receiver next year for them. Will it be him? I don't know. Will they go get someone? Are they going to be in the T. Higgins sweepstakes? That might be possible.
I think that might look really good. Get rid of a couple pieces, add him. That's all you need.
The defense also hasn't been great, specifically the secondary. Like they were kind of getting torched, and
they couldn't tackle. They couldn't tackle anybody. Even if they were right in front of them, they couldn't tackle.
They got this guy Kyer Elam. He in 2022 was a first round pick. He's not even a starter. Being a former first round pick, and you're not even starting in the secondary. That just says all you need to know. He's clearly a bust. They need to get They need help. They need help on the defense. But I do feel like they it's weird because the Chiefs scored 31 points, but I do feel like they played somewhat well. Like the defense, they didn't they bent, but they didn't break.
I think that their defense was playing really good.
It's hard to say that because they scored 31 points though. It's like how do you score 31 points? It's like, oh, you played well. And it's like, no, you didn't.
No, Josh Allen did what Josh Allen did.
Well, I'm talking about other way around.
Both ways around.
Both the Chiefs too. Chiefs defense didn't really play that well.
Oh, that's what I was trying to get at.
Well, situationally they played great. Yes,
exactly, they did. in big time moments.
So let's move on. Chiefs move on. Bills, they are a little heartbroken again. They'll be back in the playoffs at least. I don't know if they'll ever get this. I mean, they'll obviously get this far again. But I say that now. But
some other contenders coming up. You have the Broncos, the Chargers.
Exactly. They all think the Bengals will be back eventually.
The Ravens,
the Texans.
All these powerhouses.
So, you always think we'll be back. Dan Marino, second season made a Super Bowl, never made it back. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl his second, third year, never made it back. It happens a lot. You always think, they'll be back. They never make it back. So, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Cam Newton was MVP, made it through the Super Bowl. It was never the same ever. You lose it like that, dude. It's that quick. Russell Wilson just fell off a cliff out of nowhere. It really is like that. It's very sudden. So let's move on now. We'll go right to the NFC Championship game because I was saying the whole week the Commanders are going to win. Jaden Daniels is the better quarterback. Dan Quinn's the better head coach. And look, I still, any day of the week, am going to take Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. I'll take any time, any day, any place, Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts.
There's a lot of other factors in this game, though.
But I will say,
talent-wise on each roster, that was a key part. I mean, Barkley's going to be, a top 20, 25 player of all times.
I agree with that. Top 20, 25. It's just running back, no doubt. It's probably
I think it's a top 10 running back of all time.
Yes.
But player, 25.
So
that's what I'm saying. He was the difference maker in this game and throughout the whole season as well.
That's what's crazy about it because first drive, Commanders go right down the field.
First play. Saquon Barkley touchdown, 70-yard rush.
Commanders go right down the field first drive. I think they converted in 2 or 3 fourth downs. Kick a field goal after converting on multiple.
Going for it on fourth down.
Multiple times, getting it.
I mean, you know what type of game this is going to be. You have to, if you're already if you're already going that route, continue with that route.
Well, then they would kick the field goal. They did it twice, two or 3 times. Then eventually,
so keep on doing it. Well, it was like a 4th and 5 where they
that's kind of what was funny about it, Dylan, because they had a 10-play drive where they methodically moved the ball downfield. First play, Eagles, Barkley to the house. It kind of was deflating in a way. It's we're not going to win this game. We're not going to win this game. You have to pull teeth just to get downfield and get the field goal, and then he just takes it to the house, breaking tackles.
And then second drive on the Eagles, 3rd play in, same thing, run away touchdown.
Right. So it's not looking good. I mean, well.
It wasn't
at that point
good, but they reeled it in. I mean, Jaden Daniels stepped it up, and it became a closer game.
This was a great season for them. I'm not really gonna hate on them.
No, this is it's one of those teams that's they really shouldn't have even been there, and just for the fact of them getting there, kudos to them. Look, and I think they're going to be, competing with the Eagles, through the next 10 years.
I thought Jaden Daniels played his ass off. They had 3 huge fumbles by the Commanders. I think one was a punt return, 2 were by the receivers. That was not Jaden Daniels. Any day of the week, I'm still taking Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was great. He was comfortable. But after that first run by Barkley, it set up the passing game for the rest of the game. A.J. Brown was wide open. He played well. He played very, very well. He was extremely comfortable. He looked like Jalen Hurts of old when he's comfortable at his best. But I'm still taking Jaden Daniels. I think one key point that we have to hit on here is we've been very critical of Nick Sirianni. We've shitted on him, honestly. I still don't know what he does there, but you have to give him credit. Since he's been active.
Great coaching staff. Great coach.
Well, here's the thing. Since he's been active, what's the goal of being a head coach? Winning games. Since he's been a head coach, I think he's the second best record of all time. All time, dude.
So is it his job to get the coordinators?
Yes.
No, that's the general manager.
No, usually it's the head coach. In this case, I think the general manager. They get. I think in this situation, yes, the general manager hired the coordinators, but usually the coach picks his staff. Usually it's the coach. I don't think it was in this scenario.
It goes hand in hand. I mean, the coordinator, the head coach isn't getting whoever they want. It has to be ran through a committee,
It is.
It has to go through the general manager. It has to go through the owner.
Not always. You're Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh. You're picking who you want. Sometimes the head
bigger,
coach.
Yes, bigger coaches like that. Nick Sirianni isn't a big coach.
Well, yeah, no. Sirianni didn't pick Kellen Moore. I'll say that right now. I thought Kellen Moore would have been nice in Dallas, but That's besides the point. Yeah, Kellen Moore's been great this season. Good, like he has. Like he's kind
nice
of
little bounce back for him.
He adjusted to he used to be very pass happy, too cute. He just I got Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna run the ball with him. But
it's an easy offense to work around.
But dude, Sirianni's been in 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. Like, at some point, we gotta be like, okay, he's winning. We have to respect what he's doing here. I'm not gonna shit on him anymore right now. He wins games. He wins games. The point of head coach is to win games, and he's winning games, bro. So I'm done shitting on him for now. So you take the floor, my friend. I'm out. I'm in. But I'm out and shitting on him. So go ahead.
I'm still not convinced. It's kudos to him, but I've lost the words. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, you have one of the best players of all times. You have one of the most talented rosters of all times. You have 2 great coordinators. At some point, what is he even doing?
Look, I'm tempted to agree with you here, but he wins games. We don't really know what he does off the field, but maybe sometimes that's invaluable. Sometimes you can't quantify that shit. Andy Reid calls plays, Sean McVay calls plays, but we don't know what he deals with when a guy gets a DUI on a Tuesday night, or some guy's kid dies on that happens. Kyle Shanahan, I think what was his name? Charvarius Ward, his son died, and how do you deal with that as a head coach? How do you rally the troops after that? And that's what the head coach does. It's not always about calling plays, and sometimes I fall victim of that. I like having an offensive head coach calls on plays, Sean McVay and everything. But sometimes you need a leader, and is he a leader? He wins games. People seem to like him on the team, so they respect him.
He thrives in the scrutiny. He loves the controversy.
Well, that's Philadelphia. They're pieces of shit, and maybe he's right there with him. But he seems like he could do something because he's winning games. So,
all right, nothing more to say there about him, But I'm still not sold on him being this great coach. I think he's not a terrible coach, but I don't think I don't agree with the way that he goes about the things he goes about.
Where would you rank Jaden Daniels? Actually, both of them. Where would you rank Jaden Daniels in the league, and where would you rank Jalen Hurts? Are they both top 10?
Yeah.
Are they both top 5? Are they both top 7? Just top of your head, just right off the bat, a number for both of them. Just first thought, where would you put them both in the league? Just first thought, number, just rank.
Jaden Daniels 7, Jalen Hurts 8, 9.
Okay, I would say,
but it's hard to say because last year we would have said, hey, C.J. Stroud top 6. Now this year top 15 maybe.
Very good point. But C.J. Stroud didn't make the NFC Championship game. Well, he's in the AFC.
He almost did.
He almost did. Well, he had to play the Chiefs again. The Chiefs fucking everyone's careers up. But that actually is a very good ranking. Just blind. It's almost like a blind ranking I gave you there. I'll go Jaden Daniels 5, Jalen Hurts 8. Jaden Daniels, look, you got Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar. Who's 5? C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, Matt Stafford, maybe, Jaden Daniels. Those are all people that should be. Baker Mayfield. These are all guys that are
Jordan
fighting.
Love.
Dak on a good day. Yeah, Jordan Love. These are all people fighting for that 5. Right now, I'm going to go Jaden. Not that talented of a roster. Brings him to the NFC Championship game. I got respect for this guy. I think he's going to be good for a long time. Jalen Hurts, I thought he was top 10 last year, the year before that. I thought he was still in the beginning of the season. Getting a little worried. I'm like, maybe he's 12, 13. No, he's top 10. He's top 10.
But he wasn't the key factor in this game, and he wasn't. Barkley was the key factor in here, and he threw a couple good passes.
Yeah,
that's what it came down to.
Because Barkley, that one run, the first play, set up the entire game because they were like, "Oh fuck, Barkley's gonna run," and then Jalen wide open pass, AJ Brown wide open, got it wide open,
set it up.
Yeah, so Barkley was the best player in the field, yes, no doubt. But Jalen Hurts is probably a top 10 quarterback. He is. He's in the Super Bowl for the second time. He does something right, and he's kind of is an elite runner when he chooses to run.
And you know who else was in the Super Bowl 2 times?
Who?
Purdy.
Well, I like Brock Purdy, but he's not top. Right now, he's falling.
No, I know.
He's falling out of top 10.
I mean, it's a. I don't want to say
actually he was in one. He was in one Super Bowl. He was in one Super Bowl. He was in 2 NFC Championship games.
No, you're right.
Garoppolo was in one. Yeah, remember Garoppolo? Jimmy fucking Garoppolo. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's fluke situations,
Exactly.
But Purdy, I probably would put Purdy in the top 12, 13. I still like Purdy. Okay, let's not hate on Purdy right now. Like
one down season. Yeah, we still need to see more.
Man, this is crazy though. We got like Eagles, Chiefs, part 2. Last time we had this, I think I won one of those boxes on FanDuel. Oh yeah, it was the final score 8-5 because 38-35 Chiefs. So I won $500 for that. So
wow.
Let's hope I can do that again. But yeah, you got Eagles Chiefs again rematch. Jalen Hurts played the game of his life in that game. I don't know if you remember that, but he played the game of his life. But in the very, like, I think first, second quarter of the game, huge fumble where he, like, dropped the ball on a design run play, and the Chiefs ran it back for a touchdown. People don't talk about that a lot because he ended up having a great game after that. Threw for, like, over 300 yards, multiple touchdown passes, scored 35 points. Huge fumble that, like, kind of was the difference in the game at the end of the day. I don't know if you gotta go back and watch it, but it was like a very stupid thing where he was like, the ball was just here and it like fell out of his hand. Well, can that happen again? Like, I don't know because it's gonna be high scoring. I guess the Chiefs defense has been. These are both elite defenses now. I mean, like the Eagles secondary is elite. The Chiefs defensive line's elite. I mean, I don't see it being 38-35 again.
I do.
You think it's gonna be a shootout?
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout with Barkley. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I'm gonna say I think the Eagles win this game based off of just Barkley alone. I mean, it's just so elite how you have a running back that, in one snap could just take it for a touchdown, and they're gonna be on top of that. And again, what they did this game, it's gonna open up the passing game, and it's hard for them not to not be successful at this point.
It's hard for me after last season, AFC Championship game, this season, AFC Championship game, last season, Super Bowl, betting against the Chiefs. Every time I do it, I look like a fucking idiot. Not going to do it again. I think the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Early take, the Chiefs are going to win this game. They're going to three-peat because what evidence shows me otherwise? What evidence do I have to show me the Chiefs aren't going to win this game? Show me. Just show me the evidence because all the evidence points to this team just winning. Looking not as good, but winning. So it's just like...
And they have a big helping hand. I mean, it's not just them. They have a huge helping hand. They got the whole NFL on their side.
What's the helping hand?
The whole NFL. The Roger Goodell. They got the refs.
Does it rhyme with Jeff and start with an R?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've seen too many controversial calls.
Okay, let's hear it. What plays did you not like in this game?
In this game, I didn't like the personal foul. How they just tackled Patrick Mahomes in the end zone. It's not like he landed on it. He threw him to the ground. Personal foul.
That was stupid. I'll agree with that. That was dumb.
2 weeks ago, or a week ago. In the pocket, he lets go of the ball. He pushes him. He pushes him. Personal foul. He slides to the ground. The defenders go over him. Personal foul. How much more are they gonna, just sit here and just throw every flag for him?
So I will say, he does get some penalties that go his way a little bit, and
there's been like 4 games that penalties have gone their way to win them the game.
So one that I don't like is when he starts to run down the sideline, and then all of a sudden he fakes it and he runs back, and it's like you can't just like tell someone not to hit someone on the sideline, and he like jukes him out on the sideline. It's like you have to pick one at this point,
and it's not like he's like even humble about it. Every time like everyone touches, he looks at the ref like, Are you gonna throw it? Throws up his left hand like a little bitch, bro.
So fun fact: Josh Allen since 2018, since they both been a starter, because Mahomes started being a star. Actually, no, yeah, they both started being a star in 2018. So since 2018, fun fact: Josh Allen has more roughing the passer calls than Mahomes. Josh Allen has 38. Mahomes has 31. Mic drop. Boom.
That means nothing.
So what do you got to say about that? What do you have to say about that, though?
It's not just the roughing the passer.
But that's the majority of it. Majority of them have been stupid roughing the passer calls that we all hate. So
no, they're mostly personal fouls. Personal fouls, pass interference where they shouldn't have been, not calling blatant holdings. There was one play where Josh Allen was literally pointing at the guy holding him. He's like, "Ref, you got to call that?" Look, as he's like sitting in the pocket.
I hear you. It happens sometimes. the refs get a little pussy with Mahomes. I think it's more.
It's not just Mahomes. It's the whole Chiefs organization.
I think it's more of them scared of Mahomes getting hurt. But it's just ironic to me because Allen has more roughing the passer calls in his career than Mahomes. And
it's not just that.
But it's the narrative of Mahomes always getting calls. But meanwhile, Josh Allen gets the same amount of calls as Mahomes. So what? Pick one. You have to pick one at this point.
No, because there's still personal fouls that sliding. It's not just roughing the passer.
Yeah, but have you ever heard of confirmation bias? You have an idea in your head, and you just look for things on the field in the game to confirm your bias.
No.
Well, because it's subconscious. No. It's in your subconscious. That's why.
Well, no, I know. I watch it all the time. I do.
No, I look. There are
That's
things.
That's something I watch out for.
There are situations,
and I always say it's like, if that was Patrick Mahomes, that would have been rough in the past.
Exactly, because it's always in the back of your head that Mahomes always gets the calls.
No, but it's no benefit of the doubt because every time I see any sort of controversial thing going on with Mahomes, where that might have been a pass interference, that might have been a rough in the passer, it's always 99.9% of the time that flag is thrown.
But controversial shit happens in a lot of games, but we only talk about it when it's the Chiefs. That's my problem. It's like
but
it's
they get every call, and the other teams get some of the calls. That's what I'm getting at.
I also think the refs have a bias in their head. I don't think it's the league telling the refs to do. I think it's the refs just sucking the Chiefs' dick sometimes. But
something's listen. I'm not sitting here saying controversy. I'm not controversy. Conspiracy.
There were times earlier in the season and last season that you were saying that.
Well, the amount of stuff that was happening.
I know. I hear.
I mean, this season alone, bro. This season alone, 4 to 5 games were determined by penalties, either going against the Chiefs, going against the opponent of the Chiefs, or not being called against the Chiefs.
So if you really look at it, that not just
you really look at it, then you see it.
Not just penalties though, but that happens a lot. The Jets missed a field goal here, had a roughing the passer here, blah blah blah.
No. It's not the. I'm talking strictly penalties.
Yeah, but you're also getting very ticky tacky about it. There was the one earlier in the season where they got a pass interference, and to me it was a clear pass interference. To you,
and then it happened 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, the same exact play, but it happened worse, and they didn't call the play. They didn't call the penalty.
That I'll give you. I
don't know which one it is, but it was worse than the.
It was the other roles were reversed, and I agree with you on that one. There's some kind of bias here. And I think it was star teams, star players. The Patriots got the same treatment before this. I think it's that whole thing with
pass interference in the end zone, so blatant, doesn't call it.
So
there's just so many. I can keep going on.
So does that mean you're gonna pick the Chiefs in this game? No, I'm just kidding.
I already made my determination.
Okay. Well, we'll reconvene next week.
I'm a Giants fan rooting for the Eagles,
which
so that's
I find crazy.
I find
that fucking crazy, bro. Because honestly, I like the Eagles. I'm a Jets fan. I liked the Eagles before this, but honestly, you fans make me fucking hate them. Honestly, you guys are You guys are dicks. I don't know what else to say. You guys are assholes.
It's Philly for you.
You win a Super Bowl, you burn your city down. You kind of white trash a little bit. I'm sorry. Maybe you're not white trash. Maybe you're
just wait till the
purple trash. I don't know. Green trash, dark green trash because of their colors. I don't know. It's kind of similar to that color, but a little more greenish. But too far? Is that too far?
I'm just not this is one Super Bowl that I'm just not looking forward to. I've never been less excited for a Super Bowl.
You hate both these teams. You really hate the Chiefs. I don't understand it though. It's just let's accept the greatness.
I explained it for the last
feel the greatness. Love the greatness.
The last 15 minutes is why I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, we've been going on about that for a while, but it's good. It's good debate here. I'm all for the debate, bro. No, I turn the camera off and we start punching each other in the face. No. Usually we handle these pretty well. Usually we get off and we're
No, I just hate the Chiefs. I hate every aspect of them. I hate Taylor Swift. I hate Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce sucks. Okay. Sucks. Honestly, he won me my fantasy football because I traded him, and I bamboozled somebody making them believe that Kelce was good.
Shout out Mark. I agree with you though. I think even last game where he was going off and was oh, how does he still somehow get open? Bro, it was zone coverage, and they blew their zone coverage. They weren't in their spot. That's why he's open.
Noah Gray is 10 times better than Kelce.
He's getting there. Yeah, he's getting there. But
no, he is.
Kelce, you saw when Kelce was breaking away in that what was it? The Texans game where he was running away and like he got caught very quickly. He's slow as fuck now. Like, he's like not the same player.
Tight ends usually get open because it's just easier for them to get. They're closer in the pocket. There's not as many defenders on.
Also,
them.
usually you're like a Gronk too. You're a big body. You out strengthen. He's not that big, Kelsey. He's not that big. So it's like he was more based on speed and like
you got to realize when they're most of the time it's blocking and then they break out of the pocket. Nobody expects them.
He's not a good blocker though. So when it's a blocking play or run play, he's off the field. So that's the thing. Gronk was a great blocker. Tony Gonzalez, great blocker.
Kittle's great.
Kittle's the best blocker in the league. Great point. That's what I'm saying though. Like he's not that. So it's like once he loses his speed, what is he really as a player? So I keep thinking, wow, he just knows how to read the defense so well. Okay, he's an NFL football player. Okay, most receivers know how to read a zone. It's not that hard.
You know why he's so good? Taylor Swift.
Let's not forget, he was a champion and a star before.
No,
Taylor
and I'm
Swift.
not knocking him for what he used to be. I'm knocking him for how
Now,
they're making
for
it.
now.
Yeah, for now.
It's kind of made this whole Chiefs thing. It's funny thing is all has happened like in circle, like Taylor Swift, the 3P, like they all like this whole thing has been like fucking peaking like very slowly, very like
even at the end of Gronk's career, he was amazing. Yeah, he was always good.
2 tutties in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Yeah, no, against the Chiefs, ironically. But yeah, no, this is all good debate right now. We got a week buffer. We got the Pro Bowl games.
Pro Bowl games.
Dude, I think Drake May got selected to the Pro Bowl, but like someone dropped out. Maybe Josh dropped out. So technically, Drake May made the Pro Bowl and not Mahomes. That's kind of stupid. I mean, actually, Mahomes.
Well, no, they can't make the Pro Bowl if they're in the Super Bowl.
They usually drop out because they're going to the Super Bowl. You're right, but like it's kind of just funny to think about. Like Drake made Pro Bowl, not Mahomes. People will remember that and probably
Pro
forget.
Bowls are a joke. It's a glorified.
It's all about All Pro. It's all about the All Pro team. Yeah.
It's a glorified.
It's all about it's all about the first team All Pro team that comes out. Like who votes on the All Pro. That's what matters most. A couple coaching hires I want to get into before we end our little chat. First, Pete Carroll, bro. Pete Carroll to the Las Vegas Raiders. Think about the AFC West now.
Stacked.
Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Pete Carroll. That might be the best division of coaching I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Honestly, it is. It's elite. It's going to be a tough division, but the Raiders are the joke. They've been a joke, the Raiders. Now
but a team could be turned around in an instant. Chargers. I mean,
Texans. Commanders. So we've seen it before, and Pete Carroll's a leader of men. And he's like the youngest 70 whatever years old he is. He's young. He acts young is what I'm saying. And I think he's a good culture builder. He'll revitalize his team. Maybe Max Crosby
he's a great coach overall.
He is.
Lost a great coach when he left Seattle. I mean, they were never the same after that either.
Well, it's been 1 year. Mike McDonald had him winning 10 games this year. So, like, they were okay this year. But yeah, I think it was time to move on. Like, it just felt right for both parties. But, like, he's back coaching again. Las Vegas. Brady's going to be eventually I think Brady's going to be running the football operations there. He's probably going to be broadcasting for a few more years. But after that, he's probably going to move to the football operations. You got Pete Carroll, leader of men. Oldest
coach in NFL history.
Pete Carroll?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. How old is he?
73.
He's a young 73, though. That's the funny part.
He's 73, looking like he's like the mid-50s.
Yeah, really. So, I'm not
got
saying...
all his hair, too.
Right. Good for him. All right, so fucking fade a little bit.
Just you, buddy.
I don't think they're going to be like a playoff team or anything next year, but I think they're going to be competitive with Pete Carroll. Like, I think he's going to make them respectable again. They've been a laughing stock for a while. I think now they're going to be respectable.
So they're going to ride with Geno?
We're talking about the Raiders.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's another question.
But like quarterback wise, like who do they even have?
Now, friends in our group chat were like, "Oh, Shador to the Raiders." Like they don't have a top pick.
There's no way they're getting anywhere
unless they
close
trade
to
up
him.
or something. Yeah, so
that's funny.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
I think
Joe Flacco.
There's some candidates out there, but
is
nobody.
Geno a free agent? That actually might be a realistic one.
Bring him right back.
Russell Wilson. I heard that one too. Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll reunion,
or Fields. Either one.
Either one. I heard that the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll reunion. I think Pete Carroll's the reason that he was out. That would be crazy. Yeah, so I think it'll be good. It's a good hire. I think he's a leader of men. I think he's going to make them like respectable. Yeah, they've been a laughing stock for a long time. So
this will be the turning point for them. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys are doing though. They had this feud with Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones in the middle of the season was saying like, "Oh, we might look at other options." I think Mike McCarthy realized at some point, Look, I made Dak runner-up MVP a couple seasons ago. I won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm out, bro. I'm out. So, and I think Jerry was shocked about that. He just hired Brian Schottenheimer. He was the Jets offensive coordinator. They fired him. He was the Seahawks offensive coordinator. They fired him. And he was the Dallas offensive coordinator. But McCarthy was calling plays. This guy is an average offensive coordinator at best. Average at best. What makes you think he's going to be a good head coach? This was a last-minute, desperate hire by Jerry Jones. And he's become
It was very last minute.
He's become the old 2000s, late 2000s Al Davis. And Al Davis was a great football mind, head coach, GM of the Raiders, owner of the Raiders. But, like, he's become that psychopath that just can't get out of his own goddamn way. It's like, it's embarrassing. It really is. This is the most embarrassing hire I've seen in the history of the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
And I don't think that's going to get any better until they move on from him. All right.
Well, he's the owner. You can't fire owners. That's the problem. You can't
fire. I mean, when he dies, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
And maybe his children take over.
Do you know anything about Brian Schottenheimer? Probably not, right? Because he's a fucking nobody, bro. He's not a hot offensive coordinator candidate. He's not some like.
Well, they were doing it so last minute. It's like you should have an idea of who your candidates are. You know who you want to. They interviewed like 2 people.
They literally hired the guys like secondhand. Like they just like was like, okay, first guy next up on the staff. Like, okay, you're in. And who they hire for their defense? Fucking dickhead on the Chicago Bears that just got fired.
What's his
Matt
name?
Ebercock. Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus.
Defensive coordinator.
He can coach defense. He's good. So I'm not gonna. He's not a great head coach, but he can coach defense.
Again, another situation, just maybe like Kellen Moore, like rejuvenate their career.
See, that's the thing. I think Kellen Moore would have been a good. He coached Dak. He was Dak's backup quarterback. He was Dak's offensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy ran him out of town. I think he would have been nice for this head coaching job for Dallas. But I guess, hey, Brian Schottenheimer, he's the future.
I would have taken him on the Giants.
Oh, Kellen Moore, yeah, absolutely. But that's really it, dude. We're gonna
Super Bowl on the way.
We'll give a more intense and more reactive prediction next week. Maybe some football news. There'll probably be more things out there. But all right, Chiefs, Eagles, back
Let's
again.
Go.
Chiefs, Eagles,
2
part 2,
years
bro.
later.
All right, see you later, dude. Take care. Like, subscribe, share. Keep supporting us, and let's do it. Take care. Thanks.